Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all California students, sponsored by the College2Career fairs and StrikeScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at college2careerfairsconnect.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website, college2careerfairsconnect.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenter.
Thank you very much. Welcome everybody. My name is Patrick Butler and I'm an admissions counselor from Pennsylvania College of Technology. All the way from here on the East Coast, so a few hours difference, but nonetheless happy to be here. So I'll go ahead and share my screen and we'll get the presentation itself started. So Pennsylvania College of Technology, if you haven't heard of us before, we're a mid-sized institution, about 5,000 students, located in a town called Williamsport, Pennsylvania. If that town sounds somewhat familiar to you, it might be because Williamsport is home to the Little League World Series, which happens every year in August, which coincidentally happens right during our fall startup time. So if you become a student at our college, you'll have an opportunity to maybe attend some of those games. But Pennsylvania College of Technology is really all about making your future by hand. So you can see even right here on the title slide, there's some photos of students working with their hands. And we really encourage students during their first semester to get their hands dirty, whether that's physically or metaphorically, with their particular major. We don't have students starting and taking classes just in general education in the beginning. We actually have you working in the labs, getting your hands involved. So we do that by across our different 100 different majors. We have 100 diverse majors, which are extremely focused on industry-driven programs. And what I mean by that is we have advisory boards that inform all of our curriculum and majors. So these majors are in demand by employers. As you can see, our graduation placement rate on the slide here says 97%. This was just updated actually to 98% for our last year. So what that means is that the guidance that we're getting from industry is working. Our students are getting jobs after graduation. Part of also what fuels that placement rate is the over 150 different learning labs that we have on campus. These labs are filled with state-of-the-art equipment and are real production size. We really try not to just use simulators. We really want you to be learning on the latest equipment, the same equipment that you would see out in the workforce. And finally, we keep our class sizes relatively small, about 16 students in a class. And that's important because it gets you not only access to all of that equipment, but it also gets you access to the faculty members. Our faculty themselves are experts in their field of study. We do not use teaching assistants, so all of our courses are taught by actual faculty. But the 16 number also gives you an opportunity to interact with your classmates as well and learn how to be part of a real functioning team. So we're all about hands-on applied technology education. All of our labs, as I mentioned, are state-of-the-art. This snapshot here, you're seeing some students in our nursing lab working with some equipment, and this particular program is host to a lot of very realistic and lifelike simulators. So these students are getting as close to real life and experience as possible so that when they step into a hospital setting, they'll be more familiar with exactly what they're going to encounter and how to manage different situations. So we are affiliated with Penn State. It's an important thing to be aware of because we're not considered a branch campus. We are what's called a special mission affiliate. And that means that we're sort of like a cousin to Penn State. We offer and award our own degrees. So when you graduate from Pennsylvania College of Technology, that's what it will say on your diploma. But we do have Penn State's support of our curriculum and the on-campus experience through a little bit of curriculum overlap, as well as some unique benefits like the ability for students to attend Penn State football games at the main campus. But it's important to know that we have our own admissions process, admissions criteria, and majors at Pennsylvania College of Technology, separate from Penn State. So as I mentioned, we have over 100 different majors, and these are spread across 3 academic schools. The School of Business, Arts, and Sciences is where you will find programs in business administration, as well as accounting. You'll find programs in graphic design. You'll find our culinary arts technology and our baking and pastry arts program. But you'll also find our programs in human services and restorative justice, as well as brewing and fermentation science. Our School of Engineering Technologies is by far the largest academic school at the college, probably the most diverse too. It has everything from automotive through horticulture. So automotive technology, we have diesel technology, we have manufacturing technologies such as plastics and polymer engineering. We also have programs in robotics and mechatronics. Engineering Technologies is also home to all of our information technology programs, such as cybersecurity, game and simulation design, as well as software development. And civil engineering, construction, and electrical technologies as well, all live within the School of Engineering Technologies. One of the other unique things about the Engineering Technology School is how some of these programs really relate to each other. For example, in the construction space, we have programs in HVAC design, we have programs in electrical technology, and we have programs in residential construction. So you can see how all the pieces of constructing a facility would kind of meld together through the overlap of those programs. And finally, in the School of Nursing and Health Sciences, we all have programs, of course, in nursing, but we have a physician assistant program. We also have a surgical technology program and a dental hygiene program, which are just a few of the examples of the different majors you can pursue. We offer multiple different degree types. So we have certificate programs, associate degrees, bachelor's degrees, as well as a combined bachelor-master degree. That last offering is only available for our physician assistant studies program. We also offer bachelor completion degrees, and these are actually sort of a 2+2 situation where you can have earned an associate degree or a special license and then come back to Penn College and complete a bachelor's degree, getting credit for those first 2 years or that previous license work that you've earned. This is great for working professionals or someone that maybe went to a community college first but wants to earn a bachelor's degree through Penn College. We offer dual degree options, which is more commonly referred to as double majoring. So a student can pursue 2 degree programs without having to take a lot of duplicated coursework, and you actually would graduate with 2 separate degrees. And finally, we offer flexible options for study. So you can pursue a degree full or part-time. Most students in high school coming into college would study full-time, but if work commitments or family dictated that you needed to study part-time, that's always an option as well. We do have several online degrees, but I'll say that that's not the bulk of our offering, simply because we're really about the hands-on approach. We want you to be in the labs on campus as much as possible. So why Penn College? Well, we're going to provide you access to the latest technology. These labs that we have on campus are kept up to date through our tight industry partnerships that we have, making sure that you are going to be learning on the latest and greatest equipment. Some examples from this page that you'll see are like the dental hygiene clinic in the upper left. It's a facility where members of the public can actually come in and pay a small fee and have their teeth cleaned. It's a mutually beneficial arrangement. You know, the students get exposure to cleaning various individuals' teeth, and the patients get their teeth cleaned for a cheap price. The facility is state-of-the-art and was recently renovated. Other examples on this page are like the construction lab that you'll see with the students working with some masonry work there. We have an aviation technology program at our local airport. We have a facility there and where students will learn how to actually repair planes. Our culinary arts program, our students will have the opportunity to actually work in an on-campus French restaurant, which we open to the public, and it's a true living learning lab for students to get exposure to all the ins and outs of restaurant management. So this is just a few examples of how our labs are a real integral part of the Penn College experience. But beyond living and learning in the classroom, it's important to learn outside the classroom. And our students do that through completing various internships. For the health science folks, they'd be working through clinical rotations and ultimately completing a senior project or a senior capstone. Internships are a great opportunity for students to learn from each other, but also to learn what it's like to be out in the real world of work. This image that you see on the screen here is a couple of our paramedic technology students that were volunteering at the Little League World Series. It's a good opportunity for them to get some time in volunteering, but it's also a great opportunity for them to learn how it is in the field. As I mentioned, this event happens every year in Williamsport in August. Clinical rotations for our health science programs, we're fortunate to be not too far away from quite a few hospitals. So, we have the proximity that allows you to not travel too far to get those responsibilities taken care of. And the senior capstone, which more commonly probably referred to as a senior project, could be a combination of an internship or a portfolio project that you would complete. This is something that you can use to showcase your achievements to a potential employer and really show off all the things that you did while you were here at Penn College. We offer quite a few global experience opportunities, which are similar to a study abroad experience. So these are either short or long-term options. An example of a short-term option would be to travel for just a couple of weeks in another country. A long-term option would be to travel for an entire semester. So some of these programs are major specific and some are more open to any student at the college. The important takeaway is these are for credit. You're actually earning college credit to go on one of these trips. These students in this photo are in Italy, and it was part of an architecture class that went abroad. But our nursing students have also traveled abroad, as well as our dental hygiene students, to provide patient care and assistance in some places that desperately need that assistance. It's an eye-opening experience for the students, and it creates even real tight bonds with classmates. And as I said, these are for credit. It's not just like you're going on a vacation. So at Penn College, we offer the traditional student life experience. We do have on-campus housing. All of it is very modern. It's all air conditioned and very clean and neat. All students are able to actually have a car on campus as well, which is a unique aspect of our campus. The campus itself is pretty active. The main part of the campus, we call the campus mall, is sort of the hub of activity. And students find that to be a great place to hang out and socialize. Right at the end of that campus mall is the campus center building, and that's where students are indoors socializing. So you'll see that picture in the bottom left there of the pool table. That's students shooting pool in the campus center. But that facility is also filled with lots of spaces for students to hang out and kind of decompress after class. Our location in Williamsport really lends itself to the outdoors. So we're right along the Susquehanna River, as well as have two mountain ranges on either side. So it's very conducive to students getting out and doing camping or hiking or fishing. Great opportunities to see all that. So the college does participate in NCAA Division III athletics. This year we added men's lacrosse as a new sport. We do have men's and women's soccer, basketball, baseball, and tennis. We also have esports that was recently added. If intercollegiate athletics isn't really what you're interested in, we also have the opportunity for you to participate in club sports or intramural athletics. And these are a little more casual opportunities for you to just play pickup games or get in the field house and hang out playing like ping pong or tennis. So lots of ways to stay fit while you're on campus. The college also has two fitness centers on campus, which are both free for students to use when they're on campus. We have over 65 student organizations, and these organizations provide a great way for students to connect with each other, both in their major and outside their major. We have fraternities and sororities. We have special interest groups, as well as religious affiliated organizations. So in the lower right there, that's an image of our motorsports team, their Baja car that they were racing in one of the recent events. So, lots of different opportunities to get involved. And these groups are a great way for students from different majors to kind of commingle with others, learn from each other and build stronger networks. It's just great opportunities to connect with each other. So the typical Penn College student is generally a very driven individual. We find that students generally come in and declare a major during their application. While a student can apply as an undecided major, we find that we find it best if a student does choose a major in the beginning, so that those hands-on lab courses that they're taking truly are going to count towards completion of the degree. A lot of our students do hail from Pennsylvania, but we are seeing increasing interest in students from the West Coast as well, pursuing an education with us. Beyond the US, we also welcome students from over 9 international countries, which is pretty nice. We love having these students on our campus, and they truly bring a nice diversity and a new perspective to the table. So here's a quick student profile about one of our recent graduates. Her name is Hannah. Hannah graduated in our industrial design program. She was a very involved student on campus and played on the women's soccer team, and also was on our dean's list. She was a pretty strong academic student. Hannah always had a dream of working for John Deere, and she had the unique opportunity to go and meet with them at our career fair that we hold on campus every year. She went to approach them about an internship. Unfortunately, she was actually turned down for the internship, and being the driven student that she is, she approached the recruiter again a second time and reiterated her interest in working with John Deere. They did actually get back to her and explained, we're actually willing to give you a shot, and welcomed her into their internship program. After completing that internship, she was offered a full-time position with John Deere, and that's where she's at as of today. So we're super proud of Hannah, everything that she's accomplished, and she's just a true testament to the drive and determination that our Penn College students have, and we really look at her as a true success story. So it's important now for you to know, how can you be one of our success stories? And we'd love for you to be on that slide someday. Well, there's 3 things that you need to do. And it starts with completing an application for admission. You can fill out an application right on our website, it's pct.edu, or you can use the Common App. Both of these are free. There's no cost to apply. After you fill out the application, you need to submit your materials. So requesting a transcript from your high school or all of your previous schools that you've attended is necessary, and have that sent to our office. We are an SAT test optional school, so you do not need to submit SAT scores, but we will accept them if you've got scores, because that will help you with step 3. It's also important to note that we don't require an essay, and we don't require letters of recommendation. So step 3 is to meet placement requirements, and you can meet these in a few different ways. If you're a high school student, you can meet them by submitting a valid SAT score or ACT score, or you can take our own placement tests. Our tests are offered for free, there's no charge, and you can actually take them remotely from your home. If you happen to be a transfer student or a student that's attended a community college or maybe a dual enrollment program, you are able to transfer classes to us, and if you meet placement requirements through transfer credit, that's another way to again save you some extra testing. So once you've completed those 3 steps, you would be an admitted Penn College student. So all throughout the admissions process, you will have a designated admissions counselor that will work with you throughout the life cycle of your time. Being on the West Coast, your counselor would actually be me, because I work with all students in California. So I would be there to help you navigate the financial aid process, as well as the application process. If you've got questions about testing, or if you're interested in maybe setting up a tour or deep dive conversation with some of our faculty, I'm your resource to help you get all those things aligned. So we really try to make this a very personalized experience for all of our applicants. So when we're talking about college, it's always important to plan ahead and start thinking a little bit about how you're going to fund your education. So Penn College has a fully operating financial aid office that's ready and willing to help you navigate all the ins and outs of financial aid. We group financial aid into these three sort of buckets. So it's grants, scholarships, and loans. In the area of scholarships, Pennsylvania College of Technology has over 300 scholarships that we offer students that they can apply to during the application process. The good news is you only have to submit one application, and that puts you in the running for all 300. We highly encourage all students to submit a FAFSA form because that can put you in the qualification for federal grants, but also for student loans. And we also use that student aid report that's generated from the FAFSA to evaluate you for some of our scholarships. So the important thing to note is that grants and scholarships is money that you don't have to pay back. It's free money to you as a student. And loans, of course, is money that you do have to pay back. But you know, you're going to get a good job after graduating from Penn College. So, you know, paying that loan back is not going to be a huge problem for you. We fully recognize that financial aid is a unique thing for every student. So, you know, if you have questions or issues regarding financial aid, we certainly will be able to connect you with our financial aid representatives to get you those answers. So, you know, in the times that we're in, we are doing a lot of virtual question and answer sessions, similar to what you're sitting through today. But there's a lot of other ways for you to connect with us. On our website, which is pct.edu/visit, you can find lots of ways, both virtual and in person, that you can connect with our campus. We have virtual tours available of all of our lab facilities. We also have the ability for you to self-schedule a tour to come to campus and actually tour our labs in person. In addition, you're able to self-schedule an appointment with myself or another admissions counselor to talk about your specific situation or questions. We're available via phone, email, and text. So just check out pct.edu/visit to connect with us in any of those means. So that concludes the general presentation. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for the moment and see if there's any questions that I can answer at this time.
That was great. So I have a question for you. How are you guys dealing with COVID? Because you said most of you guys have online classes, but it's better in person. So what are you guys doing about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we did do remote instruction last spring. We did resume on-campus instruction in the fall. So we're really almost business as usual, with the exception of decreased class sizes. So we're actually well below that 16 right now because of social distancing. And we're using some non-traditional spaces, I'll say, that we wouldn't normally instruct in, just so that students can do a little more spread out. But yeah, our degree offerings are a little difficult. You can't fix an airplane online. You kind of have to do that in person. So, so we're monitoring everything very closely, asking students to perform temperature checks and a few other things to make sure that everyone's being as safe as possible.
And then on the slide where you're talking about materials, it said that materials depend on the major. Could you give some like examples about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So if a student's pursuing, let's say, the nursing program, they are going to need to submit some additional test scores. So for our nursing program, you will have to take what's called a TEAS exam or take the SAT. That's not required typically for general admission to the college. So all of our health science programs do have some element of selective admission attached to them, where there's additional admission selections processes that come into play. So for all of our non-health science programs, a transcript is really all we need. But for health science programs, there's some additional documents that we always have to collect.
And then what are the GE courses like? Are they kind of specific for your major, or are they just more general?
So it depends on the major. Some programs have very focused math classes around them. So, there might be a specific statistics class or a specific math class for your particular major. But I would say, to generalize, in most cases, all students will take, an algebra class, or they'll take a college level algebra 2 course as part of their major. But some programs, like the information technology majors, they're going to get into that upper level math coursework, so that they're prepared to step into that software development space. Similarly, the health science programs, those students generally will take some pretty advanced biology courses and things like that. All of our students, all of our majors, I'll say, have a core curriculum component to them, because we're not a trade school. We are a college, in particular with our bachelor's degrees. So, we are going to offer you those perspective courses, where you can choose some electives, but they'll be in history and art and things of that nature as well. So, our goal is to try and deliver a well-rounded student, but someone who's spent a lot of time in the lab as well.
That was great. Thank you. I just have a quick slide I want to share.
Sure.
And then you can add anything else if you want. Thank you for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at college2careerfairsconnect.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find the session's recording, as well as all of the other session recordings at that same website. Thank you. And then, do you have anything else that you would like to talk about? Anything you'd like to add?
No, I think that's everything. Again, if you're interested, please check out pct.edu. That's our main college website, and where you can find both our application for admission and all the ways that you can visit us, both in person and virtually. And I hope to see some of you on the East Coast sometime soon.
All right, thank you very much. That was a great presentation.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye. Take care.